this is... Oh, this guy's trying to fight me, yeah? Huh? Hey everyone, it's Tiqqle, and in this video we're going over Arcane Mage in the Alpha. We're going to go over a few things. We're going to go over the overall Mage new spellbook page. I'm sure you guys are aware of that. Now, with Alpha and with Shadowlands, I should say in general, they're bringing back the class design and the class focus for every single class in the game, meaning every single Mage spec will be getting similar class abilities across Fire, Arcane, Frost, which is pretty cool and brings back the class identity. Now, we'll go over that, then we'll go into the Arcane specific skills and the changes there, and then we'll go into the talents, and then I'll start to kill some stuff. So that's the plan. Let's get into it. The number one change that I'll bring up is kind of a weird one, but to Arcane Intellect. This now buffs your intellect by 5% and down from 10%, which is kind of weird, but it is what it is. The other thing to mention is as a class and as everyone in Shadowlands is going to be down to level 50. 120 will equal to 50. This also does a stat squish, so now we're at about 75 item level, and our HP pool is around 11,000. That's pretty cool. We're going to be leveling to level 60, which keeps the numbers kind of small. But yeah, let's go into the rest of the abilities under the Mage tree. Now, this again is the Mage tree. Class identity has been restored. This means mages now get one ability-ish for each school of magic. Additional ability, I should say. Arcane Explosion, of course, I'm an Arcane Mage. But I also get Fire Blast. Blasting an enemy for 370 damage, which is actually pretty decent, which is kind of nice. We also get Frostbolt, launching a bolt of frost at the enemy, dealing 270 damage, slowing them for 50%. So that means Arcane in BFA, if you get kicked on any Arcane school ability, you can't cast literally anything other than, I guess, Ice Block and Frost Nova. Very few things. But if now, let's say I get locked out on Arcane in PvE or PvP, I can at least get some globals and some casted abilities with Frostbolt, maybe slowing the target, or Fire Blast to get some instant cast. This 340 is not anything to scoff at. That's about a lightning bolt from a LA Shaman. So those are three cool abilities that are for every single Mage class. It is kind of flavorful. I do appreciate it. Frost Nova is still here unchanged. Arcane Intellect we talked about. Conjure, Refreshments, Counterspell, all the same. Ice Block, every Mage gets it. Every Mage now gets Mirror Images, which is cool. It's an ability that I think should be on. I mean, it makes sense for all Mages. I remember back in the day in Wrath of the Lich King, popping these with all the Arcane Mages would have all their little buddies out. I think it's just cool and flavorful. So now that is baseline for every spec of Mage. The other big change, though, is that they now have these wards. Frost Ward, which is shields you for frost. It's on a 30-second cooldown. Shields you for frost, absorbing 1.1k, which is about 10% of your HP for 30 seconds. It also has Fire Ward. Fire Ward, again, 1.1k damage, but only fire damage for 30 seconds. So it looks like this. It's pretty cool. It'll stay up. Frost Ward, I can't use it because they're on the same cooldown. So that's that. Polymorph, same. Portal, same. Remove Curse is still around, so that's still there, and that's about it. Spell Steal's also here. So that's what's here on this tier. Then this ability, Alter Time at level 58, which we don't have yet. It's on a 1-minute cooldown, alters the fabric of time, returning you to your current location and health when you cast a second time or after 10 seconds. Meaning this is kind of like a temporal shield, bring your HP back. I don't know if this is going to be relating to your cooldowns. I don't think so, but that is an ability we haven't been able to test yet because the alpha only goes to level 53. So that's that for the Mage skills. Let's go into the Arcane specifics. Arcane skills themselves, a lot of them are going to be fan favorites in what you've seen before. Arcane Barrage, Arcane Blast, Arcane Missiles, Arcane Power. But now they did bring back Conjure Mana Gem. Conjure's a mana gem that can be used to instantly restore 10% mana and gets 3 charges. This is a throwback to the mana gems of old, I should say. And it's actually pretty cool. I think it's a flavorful thing to bring back. Not really a big deal, but something you can store up and gives you a little bit more mana oomph. Now, Evocation is still here. Oh, this guy's trying to fight me, yeah? Huh? Evocation is still here. Evocation increases the mana regen by 750. This will just regen your mana bar when you get Presence of Mind. This is, you know it, you love it. It gives you the next 2 Arcane Blasts will be instant. It actually, I think originally was any spell, so you used to be able to instant poly way back, but that's not the case anymore. Greater Invis makes you invisible and untargetable for 20 seconds, removing any threat and any actions cancel the effect. You take 60% reduced damage while invisible and for 3 seconds after reappearing, which is kind of nice from a defensive capability. This actually is pretty overpowered in the Tower of Torghast because if I accidentally pull too many mobs, I just invis out, instantly get invis, and then I'm free. So it's pretty cool. I also have Prismatic Barrier, shields you with Arcane Force, absorbing 2.4k health, damage, I should say, and reducing magic damage taken by 20% for 1 minute. Pretty Dope. The duration of harmful magic effects against you is reduced. These are two very useful buffs to have through having this barrier. But again, it has 2.4k, which is about 20% of your health. You also have the slow, spammable, 60% slow. And over here you have, this is a talent, so we'll ignore that. You have this ability, Touch of Maggie. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Applies a touch of Maggie to Maggie, jeez, to your current target, accumulating 50% of the damage done. You deal 50% of the damage you deal to the target for 8 seconds, then explodes for that amount of arcane damage to all targets around you, reducing damage to all nearby enemies. So it means you basically are charging up this damage within the mob, and then it will pop and do a big AoE around it. Now, there's another buff coming from our Arcane Blast that can be cast one additional time, and you'll get 3 free ones with Presence of Mind, which will be good for burst. And Arcane Power, which we haven't, for 10 seconds, you deal 30% more damage, and your spells cost 30% more, 30% less. That's a talent augment. And so, yeah, that's that. This rank 2 will increase by 5 seconds, which is nice. The Mastery increases your mana regeneration rate and the maximum mana. Arcane Charges increase the damage of Arcane Blast by an additional 12% and Arcane Barrage by 6. So that's pretty much the Arcane Mage specific abilities at this time. As you might have noticed, the biggest thing that has changed for mages is I have Shimmer talented, but you have lost 1 charge of your Shimmer previously, and then actually something else, we'll get to that. You only have 1 blink. Now, you can't blink twice, which you could in BFA. This is actually a big mobility nerf, which is kind of sad. It's going to make it very hard for mages to get their CC going if they don't have that double blink. But also something else you probably have noticed if you PvP as Arcane, or if you just like having fun blinking around, is you do not have Displacement. Displacement returns you to where you blinked from. So if I blink over here, I could have used Displacement to come on back. They removed that, which actually makes me sad for Arcane. I thought that was one of the skill caps of Arcane that is very cool. They removed that. I definitely feel sad. Guys, let me know what you think in the comments about that blink removal and Displacement specifically. I think people will be sad, and I think in PvP it's going to really hurt Arcane Mages. There might become the PvE only boys that they've been for a very long time. The only other change is Arcane Power is now a 3-minute cooldown, similar to Incarn, instead of a 1.5, which actually feels bad. 3-minute cooldowns are kind of sad because you get to use them less often. I almost wish they would. I don't know. I don't even want to say what I was going to say. I just think that 3-minute cooldown is a very long time. I would appreciate this to probably go down to 2 minutes. 3 minutes are rough to play around. Now let's go to the talents. The talents, there have been a few small changes. Number 1, amplification. When clear casting, Arcane Missiles fires 2 additional missiles. This used to be just 1. So when I get clear casting proc, which gives me a free arcane missiles, it's going to give me a double shot of it at the end there. The other changes are to mana shield. Mana shield now only giving you that 35% of damage it absorbs instead of 50. It might actually be an okay thing because maybe it'll last a little bit longer, but I'm not sure. The other one that has changed is focus magic. This is a brand new one. Increases the target's cast to increases the target's chance to critically hit with spells by 5% for 30 minutes. That's a very long time. And in PvE, this will be very cool to be using on some of your caster buddies. When the target critically hits, your chance to critically hit with a spell is increased by 5% for 10 seconds. Cannot be cast on yourself. So basically, I put this onto someone else. When they critically hit, then it has a chance to give me that 5% additional crit myself. So it's kind of increasing crit among my buddies. And maybe that's going to be a pretty useful, cool thing to use in PvE. And I hope it is used because Incanter's Flow, to be honest, is kind of a boring trait to me. Cycling through more or less damage. Like I get it. It's important. It does a lot of damage, but still, I actually like going Time Anomaly. At any moment, you have a chance to gain Arcane Power for 8 seconds, gain Evocation or Arcane Charges. You'll probably see it randomly pop on me here too. And lastly, the Covenant ability, which is down here. This is Radiant Spark. Conjures a Radiant Spark that causes 430 damage instantly. An additional 200 over 8 seconds. The target takes 10% increased damage from your direct damage spells, stacking each time they are struck. This effect ends after 4 spells, so it will stack up. So that's pretty much it. Let's go ahead and let's kill some mobs. I'm going to pretty much show you. There's not a whole lot of change of rotation here, but the one thing that has changed is having Fire Blast. Fire Blast is going to hit for a decent amount. I'm hitting for 600s, 900. We'll hit for, there's my clear casting. It actually hurts. I will be honest with you, Arcane Mages, you know, I don't think there's too much I can really show off here, but Arcane Mages themselves are doing a ton of damage. In the Tower of Torghast, I've been having the most fun on them. You'll see, links down below for some other class videos I did. But to be honest, the Tower I've done in Arcane, and it is very satisfying, mostly because of the big burst damage. So again, I'm just kind of going through the rotation, building up my 4 charges of Arcane, 4 Arcane charges, and then dumping them with Arcane Barrage Or I could just spam missiles, but we really want to be fishing for those procs, those clear casting procs. So 4 charges, barrage, and now we sent him to the Shadow Realm. Goodbye. All right, let's go ahead and use the Covenant ability. You'll be able to see what that looks like next. Running, running, running. All right, we'll go ahead and make sure we're buffed up. Ready? We're going to use it here. Radiant Sparks going on the target. The animation looks pretty cool, truthfully. It increases the damage, up to 4. So we just wrecked it. Now, what type of damage was that doing? Let's go take a quick look. My arcane missiles were hitting for about a lot, which is 530, which again, the Covenant ability is increasing the damage taken by 10. The Radiant Spark was ticking for about 60, which is not very high, to be honest. It's pretty sad. But at least it was increasing the damage taken. So now that was doing, 530 for an arcane missiles. That's crazy. That's actually a lot. I've been playing a lot of classes. That is a lot of damage. That's with no damage increase. Arcane is seriously pumping, and I actually do wonder if it's going to be one of the new PvE things. All right, we're going to go ahead and use the Covenant ability again. Oh, doing a little bit more damn there. We're getting those stacked up, and then it pops. And we give him the pop, pop, pop. I actually am excited for Arcane. It is one of the specs, though not changed that much, it does feel, it feels pretty fun. Spam my slow. I'm leaving this open in case you want to see the damage. Arcane Blast. It's so funny. Whatever. I'm going to use Fire Blast. Fire Blast at the end. Fire Blast hit. Oh, no, it didn't even get to hit. All right. We're going to go ahead and kill one more mob. And if you want to come by, feel free to come by the stream every day, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Feel free to ask me to try stuff out. If you want to see Arcane Mage come, ask me to try certain builds out. I'm not really exploring too much right here in this video, but, it's here for you guys. All right, let's use Fire Blast. Fire Blast hit for 380, which is about an arcane missile, which is kind of disgusting. But yeah. So let's go ahead. We're going to pop some big damage here. We're going to pop our mirror images. We're going to pop arcane power, and we're going to do the biggest damage we can do. Let's make sure there's 2 mobs around, though. Only 1 blink does feel a little bad. I'm not going to lie to you. We're going to use Time Warp 2. Ready? We're going to pull out the images. Pull out that. Missiles was first. That was the wrong thing to do. Arcane Blast. Just dumping on him, man. Let's go ahead into this target with my Covenant ability. Now again, the power of Maggie. It's probably not Maggie, dude. I'm probably being so dumb. All right, but I'm using it now. Arcane missiles to arcane missiles, serious damage, and we keep moving. I'm gonna go ahead and use Presence of Mind, so I get 2 instant Arcane Blasts. So Arcane is definitely one of the higher damage classes. Again, we're in a leveling range, so keep that in mind. But it does feel pretty fun. Fire Blast to kill him. Yeah, I'll use all my skills and my abilities. Anyway, guys, that being said, that's about it for Arcane. Again, the Conjure Mana Gems over here. I'm trying to think if there's anything I haven't used, but not really. This is about it for the changes. Not a ton, but some, the new Touch of Maggie's pretty cool. The change to the Blink is pretty big. Not having Displacement, pretty big. So let me know in the comments what you think about those changes, guys. And we do have 2 events coming up. One is a Transmog competition coming up on Sunday, April 26th at 9:30 p.m. with some prizes with that. And we are going to be giving away 1 Shadowlands expansion starting April 24th until April 30th for anyone in the stream, starting from 9 p.m. Eastern Standard and then ending whenever. If you're in the stream, we're going to be doing a giveaway during the stream to anyone that's in there. And then the last day of the giveaway on April 30th, we're going to give away an Epic Edition version to subs only. So come check this out, and we'll see you in the next video or on the stream. Take care.